everybody! When spring starts rolling round and the sun starts making a bit more of an appearance than usual, we are living in the UK after all, then I feel like picnics are the most exciting thing ever. Besides a barbecue, which I am also accustomed to. Everyone loves a barbecue. I feel like picnics are so fun and easy, and I don't know, I just really like a picnic. So I decided to try and do the most epic picnic I have ever done. Now you guys know by now that I never do anything half-assed. So when I decided that I wanted to do a picnic at the weekend, I ramped it up a little bit. I scoured Pinterest for any cute ideas. I looked at recipes, food ideas, decoration ideas, and myself and Poppy went to town. Obviously, most of you may know a picnic as a blanket, food, and a field, and I mean that is pretty much all you need in order to have a successful picnic. You don't need to go as extreme as I did, but we had so much fun setting it up. We had so much fun at the actual picnic, and I honestly think it was one of my favourite days so far this year. If you have a celebration coming up, it's someone's birthday, someone's graduated, an end of exams party, or you just know that there's a really sunny weekend coming up and lots of you and your friends are all free and you want to do something, then I feel like it gives you the perfect excuse to go that little bit more crazy and creative with how you set your picnic up. We decided we wanted to do a tree pea. I've called it this. I don't actually know if it's called a tree pea, but it's a teepee suspended in a tree. And all I did for that, it looks really complicated, but I promise you it was actually really easy. I ordered 10 to 15 meters of plain white fabric from Amazon. I guess it really depends on how thick the material is and what material you want to buy, but it really wasn't that expensive, and I can reuse this for multiple things, to be honest. You could also use bed sheets, blankets. You don't have to buy fabric especially to do this. I mean, it's kind of like making an adult den, let's be honest. You want to find a location that has a good tree. If you want to do a tree pea, you need a decent tree. Some trees have like a horizontal branch coming off of them, which would be perfect because then you can just sling the fabric over the branch if it's not too high and kind of create your teepee from there. The tree we had, it wasn't quite perfect enough for that, so we actually just used a hollow pole and we fed string through it. So we created like a loop and we tied the pole around the tree so it was kind of hanging, and then we draped the fabric over the pole. That sounds really complicated, but there's lots and lots of pictures on my blog, which I will obviously link below, where you can kind of see how that's created the shape. You also don't need to do a tree pea if you don't want to. I just thought it looked really cool, and after we'd done that, we decorated it. We have, in fact, I've got some things here. Because I'm a bit of a party fanatic, i.e. I love to throw people parties, not go to them necessarily, I actually already have like a stash of like paper decorations, and things like this came in so useful for the picnic because they're so easy to do. They're so easy to set up, and they're also really easy to attach in a tree, making it look super, super pretty and cute. And of course, if there's a theme to your picnic, so if it's someone's birthday party, you can kind of tailor these a little bit more to the person. Maybe you could have some happy birthday bunting. I feel like it's kind of all about personal preference, really. I decided I wanted to make this more of a picnic party because most picnics, I feel like, are an afternoon occasion. I really love that kind of cozy element of like the candles and the fairy lights, and the evening just kind of was more fitting for that day. So we did our picnic started our picnic at about 5 or 6 p.m. and I really liked that time because you get the lovely like sunlight, but you also get that really nice like ambient like sunset, and then you have the darkness, which if you're not scared of like being out in a field at night, or you know, out in right in the back of your garden, then it doesn't really matter. But make sure you take torches, because we did not take torches. Setting up a picnic in the daylight is fun and it's fine and it's easy. Trying to take apart a picnic in complete darkness was slightly more difficult. So we took candles, we took fairy lights, obviously battery operated fairy lights, unless you have a power supply nearby, in which case you could go fairy light crazy. We had like candle lanterns, and we just made it really kind of ambient and cozy, and it looked really cool, and it just felt so nice because the evening was warm. However, I would advise you to obviously take blankets to sit on inside your teepee, but I also took a couple of blankets that could be used as like cover-ups and shawls in case it got a little bit more chilly in the evenings. Always make sure you have a big enough picnic basket to be able to take food, plastic cutlery, glasses, drinks, plates, any like serving ware. I used some slate boards, some wooden boards and things to sort of lay food out on. Scissors, don't forget scissors, because if you're opening all these packets and you have no way of actually tearing them open or cutting bits of like paper or cutting string, you're screwed. Bin bags, always remember to take bin bags to a picnic, because there will be packaging, wrappers, any leftover food that nobody wants to take home. It's always important to take at least some form of rubbish bag, because you also don't want to be leaving anything behind if you're doing this in a public space. Matches. No point having candles if you don't have matches to light said candles. The amount of times I've been to picnics or like garden parties and there's no way of lighting any candles, and everyone just ends up sitting in the dark like using their phone torches, like woohoo. You also might want to take with you some napkins and some wet wipes, because you never know what might get spilt. You might get sticky fingers, and if you don't have access to a sink, what you gonna do? When it came to food, I feel like with a picnic, a lot of the time, if there's a big group of you going, you can all decide who's bringing what, and it really depends on what time of the day as well, because if you're doing more of like a brunch picnic, then obviously the food might be slightly different. If you're doing a lunch picnic, it could be different. If you're doing a dinner picnic like we did, it might also be slightly different. I really wanted to do a cheese board because it was kind of like more of an evening time, and we had things like hummus, like dips, and I mean, picnic food is known as being cold and nibbly bits and things that are quite easy to kind of spoon and eat, like pasta salads, potato salads, coleslaw, quiches, lots and lots of bits and pieces like that, which you can prepare yourself, of course, but we didn't prepare everything ourselves. Poppy prepared quite a few bits. She made 2 salads. I made some fruit kebabs because they're super fun and super easy. And Poppy also made some ice lollies. Make sure you've got a freezer bag if you're planning on taking anything frozen. But generally, I feel like picnics are quite nibbly bits, so we took a little trip to Marks and Spencer and we basically just went round and took everything from their like new summer range. This isn't sponsored by M&S, by the way. They just have a lot of really amazing picnic food in right now. So we got like crisps and dips and fruit and just lots and lots of lovely little bits and pieces, and it was just the most amazing spread of food you have ever seen, and I just wanted to eat all of it. Our eyes were certainly bigger than our tummies, and there wasn't quite enough of us to finish everything, but we took empty Tupperware boxes with us so that we could take any food we couldn't eat home and, you know, eat it another time. Entertainment wise, now I know you don't really need any more entertainment than your friends, because generally if you have good company then everyone's happy and you don't need anything else. But one thing that I will say is vital for any picnic is a wireless Bluetooth speaker. I don't know what make this one is. It's an LG Music Flow. I got this from John Lewis, but there are so many that you can get, and they're just the best thing ever. I feel like a picnic isn't as good as it could be without a little bit of music just to set the scene. gives it a bit more of a vibe. And there's nothing worse, especially if you're doing it in the evening when it gets darker, there's nothing worse than just no noise, like no sound. It kind of gets a little creepy. And even with music on, at one point we all got a little bit scared. I can't remember why. I think we were really all overthinking every noise we could hear. But yeah, music, essential. Another thing I took along with me just for the memories and because I love it is my little Fujifilm camera. You can take instant snaps, snip snip, and I took a lot of really nice pictures that day and I really loved them, and it was just nice to have because lots of people were kind of using it and taking turns. I also took a couple of like small compact like card games, like there was like a guess the song. I also took one game that I think was called Bag of Awkward Questions or something. The sort of thing you see on YouTube challenges. That was really fun as well, and it just gives it a little bit more, especially if it's for a party or something or a birthday and you want to add like an element of like games into it. I think that that's also really fun. If you're doing this big style and you've got quite a lot to take with you, the decorations, the cutlery, the food, you're gonna need more than a picnic basket, although it does depend how big your picnic basket is, I guess. But we also carried things in cardboard boxes, and then we used those cardboard boxes as like tables to put drinks on, to put things in we weren't using. We always had something to put something in, and I think that was really useful too. We used one of the boxes as a main like table inside the teepee, and that went down really well. I feel like you could even step this up a notch and do a barbecue, like a portable barbecue at the picnic. That would just be epic. Maybe when the sun is really out, when summer's in full swing, I think that definitely needs to be done. I'm already like desperate to do this again. It was so much fun. I know we went kind of OTT, but I don't do things in halves, so going OTT was the only option for me, and I had so much fun, and I'm so glad that we put so much effort into it, and it turned out to be such a lovely evening. Naomi came, Mark came, Sean was there, Poppy was there, and it was just so lovely. So nice, and I definitely want to do it again. I really hope this video has given you a little bit of picnic inspiration, given you some ideas. Make sure to check out my blog and also Poppy's blog. She's done a blog post. She also wrote up how she made her elderflower ice lollies, which were absolutely delicious. And I've written lots more about the picnic, the setup, the location, everything you need to know about how we did the picnic over on the blog, so I will link everything down below. I will also leave links to everything that you may have seen in the really cute little montage at the beginning, the blankets, the lanterns, everything that I can find online, I will leave in a link in the description box. So make sure to check that out if you want to find out any more information. And yeah, this was a little bit of a different video for me, but I kind of want to do these for like Halloween parties, Christmas parties, birthday parties. I literally love doing things like this. I love planning parties, planning food for the parties, planning the decorations. I get really into it, and I know that my mum was exactly the same, because mine and my brother's parties were always so much fun and she always put so much effort into it, and I'm clearly taking after her in that sense, because I even threw a party for my dog's first birthday, so it's definitely gonna go downhill from here, isn't it? My kids that don't exist yet just don't know what they've got themselves in for. So yeah, if you want me to do these for, like I said, Halloween, Christmas, I know that those things are quite far away, but trust me, these things take a little while to plan, and you gotta get on the Pinterest and start looking for some great ideas. Then give the video a thumbs up if you like this type of thing, and let me know in the comments. I would also absolutely love to see any of your pictures if any of you are planning on doing any picnics or going to any picnics, or even if you do something slightly different that you think I might like, then let me know and show me your pictures on Twitter and Instagram as always. Hope you've had an amazing weekend, guys, and I will see you very soon. Bye! Whoops, kick the tripod.